So guys, here we go. We have got Season 2, Race 1 in Division 5 down at Mexico. We have got, it looks like 17 drivers for tonight's race. So this is the opening race of this season. We had pre-season last week at Abu Dhabi. I think Benny Buno won that. Benny Buno looks to be the guy to beat at the moment. He's still in the pit lane as he's beginning to leave. We'll get the menu up, get some extra settings on here. Let's have a look in the chat. So we've got Evil Master in the chat. How are we doing? We hope we're okay. Let me know if you can hear the comms. So we've got Felix the Pirate. He apparently has good pace. He's going out on the mediums, looking for that better strategy for the race. So riding on board with Benny Buno on his outlap. Had a really good race in pre-season, has good pace. He was in Division 4 last year. Does look to be one of the title contenders for this season as he comes through Sector 3. Thank you, Evil Master. So Benny Buno coming through the baseball section, getting ready to begin his hot lap as he comes around the final corner, puts the foot down on the gas and away he goes, heading up the long straight, aiming for that 200 mile an hour top speed. So here he comes, arriving turns 1 and 2. Ideally you want to cut these just a little bit, like that. That's good. You do well there to avoid invalidation. Through turn 2, got a good exit there as he heads up to 4 and 5 here. It's a tricky track, you've got to cut some of these chicanes, avoiding the sausage curb just on the inside there. It will unbalance the car a little bit as he comes through 6, where is he going through? Turn 6, so he's heading through the S's 7 all the way through to 11. With these you want to cut all of these, just getting one tyre over the curb a little bit. It's a little bit out of shape. If you go out of shape in the first one, it will send you way off for the rest of them. Me personally, I struggle a little bit on this track. You know, you've got to get each chicane right on the first section, otherwise it'll ruin the next bit, and especially more with the S-bends as well. If you're new to watching DTR, we've got the Division 5 on here, and Nell Boy's doing the comms on Division 1 as well, if you fancied catching up with that later on. We've got some really good race drivers in Division 1 who are absolutely rapid. I don't know how they do it, but that'll be a great race to watch, I'm sure. So Benny Buno, he's set at the time of 1:17. We've got, what's he called? Dimax, we'll call him, Dimax. He's on pole with a 1:16.1. Let's try and find who will be on a hot lap. So you've got Skipper. He's coming around the final corner. And he goes P2, 1:16.4. I think these guys will be looking for a 1:15.8. I think with the evolution of the track. Hymns, welcome. Good to see you. I hope you're well. Hopefully we've got a good race installed for us today. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. You'd think it would be dry here, but you never know. You never know. So let's see if anyone's on a hot lap at the moment. So we've got the McLaren going down the back straight. We are on board with King Bobus. Looks to be on a hot lap. Had a few issues last week, but he had a really good race as the race went on. A bit unlucky not to get into the points. But he'll be looking for a good race today. If he can get in the points, he'll be really happy with that. I think it's a tough lineup here in Division 5. We've got a few drivers with good pace: Benny Buno, G Infamous, Man Like Donkey, Skipper, D-Max. Even the guys who haven't gone out yet: Guna, Felix the Pirate is supposed to have some good pace as well. So it should be a really good race to start, and a good opening start to the season. So King Boba's heading through the S's. Looks a little nervous going through there, doesn't want to get a corner cut, just wants to put in a good lap. Runs a little deep there coming into the baseball section. This is a tricky corner. You've got to get down to second or first gear, make the apex. So it's not going to be a great time, but it's going to be a time nonetheless. Puts in P14. Gets a lap on the board, which is good. He'll come back in the pits and he will go again. Let's see who else is on a hot lap. Let's see what D-Max is doing. D-Max in the pits. And Donkey's coming in. So G Infamous is on a night lap, as well as Grobar. Slow a bit. Well done, Josh. So Bogorovsky down in P11 with a 118. Is on the mediums. I think everyone will go for the softs. As much as they'd like to start in the top 10 with the mediums, they will pick the softs. I think it's just not quick enough to qualify on round here. I don't believe. Bog still in the pit lane. We'll ride on board with Mr. Long. He's on his out lap, beginning a hot lap as he exits the final corner, heading up the home straight. Currently in P6 with a 16.8. So we've got Guna fans in the chat. Elliot, come on Guna. Nemanja Stranitic, I'm not sure what he's said, but so he's cheering on Grobar, who's currently in P10. A little wide there for Mr. Long, does not invalidate. Goes purple sector 2. Heads down into the baseball section. Nice and tight there, that's a great corner. As we jump on board, he's coming through the final corner, turns 17. Gets a nice exit, plenty of traction, heading up towards the start finish line. That puts him still P6 with that, with a 16.8. We will find Mr. Bogorovsky, who is starting a hot lap as we speak. Currently P12. I think he'll be looking for at least a 17 dead, I believe. He's definitely capable of that. His last time being on the medium, so he should be a lot quicker this time round for the Ferrari. And he is teamed up this season with G Infamous, who's currently in P5. As it stands, we've still got D-Max, Skipper, Man Like Donkey, top 3 drivers at the moment. I think D-Max has gone faster again with a 15.8. That's a brilliant lap time from him. I think we should see improvements from Benny Bino on the softs as well. Try and locate him. So Bogorowski coming across the line, goes up to P7, and we will find Benny Bino, who is on a hot lap. And he's up in sector 2 by 7/10 of a second. So it should be a big improvement for him. Or he's invalidated just at the very last. But he opts to go again. He's going to go on another hot lap. He needs to get this lap in. He's got plenty of heat in the tyres now, so he should be okay. So as it stands, we've got D-Max in P1 with a 15.8, Felix the Pirate, he improves with a 15.9, Skipper pushed down to P3 with a 16.4, and Judge is up there with a 16.4 as well. So it's getting pretty close at the top. You've got obviously the top two, there's only 1/10 between those two, and I do fully expect Benny Bino to be up there once he gets a hot lap put together on these soft tyres. So we'll have a look around and see who else might be on a hot lap. Skipper is currently on his out lap. Felix is going slow. Business Hodges looks like he should be on a hot lap. His teammate just behind. His teammate doesn't really want to be that close on a through the S's. Get a lot of dirty air through that. Do we have any predictions in the chat for tonight's race? Who do you think your top 3 will be in qualifying and the race? King Bogus, a little sloppy there, getting the exit out of turn 17 as he crosses the line, does not improve, and we will have a look at what the Mercedes are doing. So I think Skipper is on a hot lap, or he was. So he's letting Wardy pass. So Wardy's only on a high lap as well. So we're on board with Roberry. Got a bit of support in the chat for him as he comes down to, I believe it's turns 4 and 5s. Yeah, turns 4 and 5. Loses the back end a little bit as he goes through turn 6. Heading down towards the S's. Needs a good entrance to these, and he's done that. He's looking nice and tidy through there. Looking to improve from his current P13 so far, which he set on the medium tyre, so he should improve. Currently only 2 drivers in the 115s, D-Max and Felix the Pirate. They're setting the pace for the rest of the guys so far, as Wardy comes through the final corner to hopefully improve on his time. And still P13 for him. Oh. So we got Borg on an out lap, G Infamous, he looks to be on a hot lap as he approaches turn 6. Got a yellow flag sector 1 and 2. That should just be for people pulling over, I believe. I think it's the Alpine. So G Infamous letting a few cars pass there. Let's try and see who is on a hot lap. Mr. Long's on a hot lap, he's just 1/10 down at the moment on his previous time. So he's starting a lap, let's have a look. G-Infamous just starting his hot lap on the soft tyre. Currently P7 for the Ferrari. They're looking quite good so far, 7 and 9. Possibly can improve on that as well. As he comes through for turns 1, 2 and 3 there, he's heading up towards 4 and 5. Wazza. Come on, Bog. Bog Orguna. Benny will get pole. Okie dokie. Good to see you guys in the chat. Yeah, if I'd put my money on Benny if I had to pick, but D-Max and Felix, they look pretty quick as well. I think it's just a case of Benny hooking up that hot lap. So Jim first comes down into the baseball section, which I absolutely fucking hate. This is one of my worst tracks. Don't really like it. I think it's a good track, but I'm just not very good at it. As he crosses the line, Jim first P9 still at the moment. Oh, Bogrovs has jumped up to P4. Let's have a look. It's on a hot lap up top, so D-Max is heading through sector 2 at the moment, approaching the S's, currently on pole with a 15.8, nice and tidy through there, no invalidations, get the DRS open. Can D-Max improve on his pole position time so far? With Felix just behind him, he will want to. Oh, that's a brilliant time. 15.5 from D-Max. We jump on board with his rival to be, Felix Le Pirate. He will get a bit of a toll from the Aston Martin as well. No improvement from Benny Buno at the moment. He's still down there in P11. Oh, G-Infamous up there into P3 for the Ferraris. P3 and P6 for the Ferrari drivers. So you go across the line and 15.9, no improvement there from Felix. Benny Buno up into P2 with a 15.6. That gets him on the front row of the grid. We predicted pole for Benny. He nearly got there, but he is on the front row of the grid, and big gap between D-Max and P4 G-Infamous. 3 guys in the 115s at the moment, and that is qualifying done, I believe. So we got ends in the chat. Says I'm spitting fire in the mic. I've absolutely no idea if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I wouldn't be P11. I think I'd be around about P16. I think. I'm really not good at this track. I need to improve quite a bit before tomorrow's Division 4 race, which could be tricky. Could be tricky for the Alpines. Wazza will do it in qualifying, but he doesn't really like racing. Tends to lose it early on, late on. He's not the best, but he's a good driver. Wazza. He's a good driver. DTN's looking forward to tomorrow. And Wazza says ends for pole tomorrow, so he's not confident himself to get pole, which is a bit worrying for the Alpines. I expected a bit more from Wazza there, but hey oh. I won't be getting pole, I know that. So going through the grid, we are on pole with D-Max 50. He did a 15.5. We've got Benny Buno on P2. Felix Pirate P3 in the Alpine with G Infamous just behind. Guna is just behind him with Skipper in P6. The main man himself, Bogorovsky in the Ferrari, he's in P7. He will be happy with that. No Judge, Man Like Donkey and Mr. Long behind those. Outside the top 10, I thought he would have stayed on mediums, but he's on the softs. Grobar, Composite, Business Hodges. Then through to Wardy on the mediums. Well done, Josh. Pepsi Lover Pappy and King Boba. So it appears I think we only have one driver on mediums, which is Wardy. So this could be a big advantage for Wardy being on the mediums if the race pans out to suit his strategy. He has a lot of options open to him with starting on the mediums. If there's an early safety car, he can stay out and gain a lot of positions that way. And later on in the race, he can be on the softs and have plenty of speed with a light car. So interesting to see as we begin to line up for the grid. Oh, alright. So the cars are crashing on the formation lap, which has never been seen before, I don't believe. I have no idea what's going to happen. Interesting. Good old Codemasters with their F1 games. There has been an update this week, and this must be a new feature. Can we jump on board with the Red Bull? That was... Yeah, so we've got Man Like Donkey in 9th. He's currently sat in the middle of the track. Yeah. Not sure what's going on with that. We'll have to see what happens. Could cause a little bit of carnage. As we wait for the lights to come on. What is going on here? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Okay, so it looks like Man Like Donkey is going to be doing another 8 lap for some reason. Yeah, this is a world first, I believe. Does he get more tyre wear? I'm not sure. Does he have less fuel now? Who knows? It is interesting. Oh, this is crazy. This is crazy. Let's see what the other guys are doing. Yep, they're still sat there. They're just waiting. You know, I don't believe anyone's left yet. I don't think it's crashed, has it? Oh. Hang on, I thought I muted that. Oh, hang on. Oh, the race started. Okay. Right, that's caught me off guard a little bit. Let's get up to the front. See, here we go. Felix Pirate making the move into turn 1, gets squeezed, makes a little contact with the McLaren and the Mercedes. Mercedes off. That is Skipper in sector 1. And we got VSC. Absolute carnage. Man Like Donkey is in the race, so he's not been kicked out of the race. I genuinely thought we was going to have to restart the whole session when the screen went blank, but thankfully we are racing. And we are under VSC, so we've got D-Max still out there in front with Felix behind. Benny Buno has dropped down to 3rd, Gunnar in 4th, Mr. Long. The big loser there was Skipper, who had contact at turn 1. No damage, which is good for him. He can recover his race from here. We will jump on board Bogorovsky, lost a few places down there through the mayhem of turn 1. Papsilova runs wide, he nearly comes back onto the track unsafely. Bog gives Judge a little love tap up the backside, just a little nudge, let him know he's there, and I think Judge is boxing. He is, which releases Bog, and he is in P10 now, so we head up further forward up the grid, and we've got Grober eyeing up Composite for that P7. Gunnar trying to keep with that pack of 3 at the front. Currently 0.8 behind. Benny goes really wide. Looks like he needed to avoid contact with Felix. Benny is an aggressive driver who will try and send it when he can. But he is fast as well. He is fast, so he's difficult to defend against. He will make a move on you as he tries to hunt down Pirate. D-Max pulling away a little bit at the front as we make our way back down the field a little bit. Man Like Donkey Summer is in P6 after that crazy start of the race, and we'll jump on board with Composite through sector 3 just behind Man Like Donkey, looking for a good exit here, and I think DRS starts after this lap. Mr. Long decides to pit. Not sure if he has damage or no damage, just needs a new fresh set of tyres. Oh, so he has got small damage to the front wing. As we head back on board with Grober, who again is eyeing up Composite for that P6 position. So a little train forming here, Man Like Donkey, Composite and Virtual Safety Car. So we've got 2 cars out at the moment. We've got Business Hodges out, Wardy is out as well. Wardy's gone out on the S's, it appears. No cars were able to pit and make the most of the VSC with where they are on track, and I imagine it will end before the front runners get anywhere near the pit lane, so no cars should be able to benefit from this unless they gain on Delta on the car in front. So it's still under yellow flag VSC conditions as we come through the baseball section. These kind of corners are tricky where you can, the Delta can really fluctuate a lot just through one corner. There's the exit the last corner. They don't choose to pit and they are away. So we have got Composite making a move on Grober. Oh no, Grober's making a move on Composite down into turn 1, looking to go around the outside and get the inside on turn 2. he gets that move done. Must have gained some time on the delta of the VSC, giving him a good run up the straight. Jump on board with Benny. He's right on the back of Felix Le Pirate as they come through to begin sector 3. No, sorry, still in sector 2 as they approach the S's. Tricky section if you haven't got the heat back into your tyres after the safety car. That is a really difficult section of the track on cold tyres. So, skipper with the dive, says Wazza. It appeared to be that way. So Felix boxes. He's had enough of those soft tyres. Benny carries on to try and hunt down D-Max as we work our way back down the grid to see what other battles we've got on. So we've got Composite making a move on Man Like Donkey, who's lagged out by the looks of it. Can he get the move done into turn 1 and hold it into turn 2? So ahead at turn 1, comfortably ahead of turn 2, and the Ferrari of Bogorovsky begins to chase down Man Like Donkey, who may have lagged off, I'm not too sure. So I will leave you with Bogorovsky for 1 second. I'm just going to go and grab a drink. So here we go, I'm back. So Bogorovsky has clearly got past Man Like Donkey, up into P6. Let's take a look at the penalties. So far, skipper 3 seconds. We've got Well Done Josh with 5 seconds as well. Mr. Long, 3 second penalty also, along with Judge, who is in P15. So we'll ride on board with Composite, who's just on the back of Grobari. I agree with Clone. Got a cheer on Borbus now. P11 there, looking to get some points in the season. So far so good for him, making the most of other people's mistakes early on. So we're going through sector 3. Composite is right on the back of Grobari. Needs a good exit here out of turn 17 along straight, get that DRS open and try and get the move done into turn 1 and turn 2. It's got 12 people watching at the moment. I agree with Jake, this division is definitely a tasty one, it really is. And I think the guys at the back who seem to have a bit less pace, they'll grow into it as the season goes along. They'll get some practice in, they'll get quicker, and the gaps will definitely reduce as well from front to back. He's got the DRS open as Composite as he approaches turn 4 and 5, just not close enough to make a move. What other battles have we got going on around the track? We've got Skipper, P9, currently just behind Felix the Pirate, who pitted last lap. So we've got Composite eyeing up a move on Grobari again for this P4 position. They are both on these soft tyres, six lap old tyres. As they head down the home straight, doesn't appear to be close enough at the moment to make a move. Oh, he has great pace there. For a moment he looked too far away to make the move, but flew past it. So that's compensated up to P4. We've got yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. No one appears to be off, I don't think. As Grosberry wants to place back, sends a bit of a dive, gets some damage there. Looks to be like Grosberry caused that incident, pushing composite. But Grosberry has damage. That's going to cost him a lot. He didn't need to send it there. With the DRS zones on this track, he can be patient and wait for those. As Grosberry is going to be really punished heavily through the S's here with that damage, and then the chasing packer just behind as well with Bogorovsky and Man Like Donkey. So Bog's making the move. He gets that done on composite. Grosberry surely has to box here, giving Bog the DRS with it as well. So he hangs to the right. Is he going to box? Which I think he does. Good exit from Bog, looking for that DRS, which should pull him away from the rest of the pack, hopefully. So 3 cars up there, they're all got DRS. We are going to just head to the front. So we've got D-Max, he's leading the race at the moment, 8 lap old soft tyres with Benny Buno 2 seconds behind. Gunnar just 4 seconds behind, having a good solid race there, 6 seconds ahead of Bogorovsky. The top 3 look to have a podium locked as it stands, but with safety cars you just never know. Let's have a look at the chat. We've got Jake in the chat. Not looking forward to doing this track on Thursday. Middle sector can make or break your race. I absolutely agree. I don't like it either. Yeah, Hims, yeah, big dive bomb there from Grosberry. Little naughty, little naughty. So Bogorovsky having a great race at the moment in P4. Always has a good solid race. Usually mistake free. And he will be happy with how things are going at the moment if he can get away from Man Like Donkey. So we've got Benny Buno, he's boxed, he's gone for the medium tyre. D-Max, he's still out on the softs, 9 lap old softs along with Gunnar as well. As we take a look, we'll ride on board with Bogorovsky as he has been overtaken by Man Like Donkey. So yeah, just watching the replay, Bogorovsky was overtaken down the home straight by Man Like Donkey as they come through sector 2 in the S-Bends. Man Like Donkey pulling away a little bit, but Bog's in a good position, got no penalties, probably due to box anytime soon. D-Max, he is pitted for his fresh tyres, which are going to be, if we can see, the soft tyre. So he must be going soft, medium maybe, soft, hard. Either way, Man Like Donkey goes through for P1 and Bog goes through on P2. With Benny Buno coming up behind and could close the gap here with the mediums that are nice and warm now after having 1 lap already on them. So as it stands, we've got Man Like Donkey P1, Bogorovsky P2 and D-Max P3. We can jump on board with D-Max. We've not seen a lot of him yet because he was out at the front on his own. He is net P1 at the minute with the pit stops, as he just gets a penalty there for corner cutting. That the DTR affecting his car behind the Ferrari. As he opens the DRS, heads down into 12, and now looking to get his P1 position back. If he can get DRS from Man Like Donkey before he boxes, that would be a great bonus for him. And yeah, Man Like Donkey boxes, and D-Max retains P1 with Benny Buno just behind, 1.7 behind. Different strategies going on here with the soft and medium tyres. Both got 3-second penalties. Gunnar will be looking to take advantage of that if he can. So with all the pit stops taking place, we've got Felix Pirate up to 5th now. Let's try and see where the battles are. Bogorovsky having a fun race. He's having a few battles out there, and definitely not boring. In his currently in P9, looking to get past Grosberry as soon as he can. We'll go and see what Skipper is up to at the moment. So he's racing his teammate and his son, Composite. Not sure which is the number one driver here, but we have got Skipper on the soft tyre with Composite on the hard tyre. Interesting mixture of strategies there, considering they both started on the soft tyre, and you'd think Skipper would have the pace to get past on the next lap. So looking at the chat, Jake, mediums are definitely the better race tyre, but it's always risky to qualify with them, given the start straight, give fresh softs such an advantage. Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. It does seem like in qualifying, softs are just, the mediums are just not good enough. I think if you've not got pole position pace, starting P11 is good to be on the alternate strategy. You can gain a lot from it. I very often try and do that because I'm not good enough to get on pole. So qualifying on P11 can be stronger than pole on certain tracks where strategy is everything. I think tracks like Bahrain, starting on mediums is just absolutely everything. So yeah, we had Wardy on the mediums, and he's unfortunately DNF'd. He could have had a good strategy today, but unfortunately he's out of the race. We'll take a look at the front. We've still got D-Max. He's up there just over 2 seconds ahead of Benny Buno. With Gunnar behind 8 seconds now, with G Infamous a further 8 seconds behind him, who is being overtaken by Felix the Pirate into turn 1. So according to the guys in the chat, Felix Le Pirate is one of the faster guys, as he gets a bit of a bad exit there coming out of turn 5. Gets the back end a little loose and loses a bit of traction, firing up the tyres a little bit. Just needs to regain his composure here through into sector 2 as we come round to turn 6 and heading down into the S's. So he's looking to pull away from G Infamous, try and make some grain on Gunnar to push for that podium spot. He's on the soft tyres, so he could close the gap quite quickly. So we will have a look at Mr. Long. Not been on board with him yet. He defends through into the baseball section. Did he leave enough room? I'm not sure, but the Williams is ahead now of Grosberry. He does like to send it. He does like to make a move, it appears. And we've got Skipper, who was taking a look at... Has he got a good exit onto the back straight? Should be nice and clean through the first section. Mr. Long running, looked like it was a touch wide, but got a good exit, with Skipper having the DRS, and Grosberry didn't open it, I don't think. So as they enter sector 2, we are getting a little train here with Mr. Long in P8. So Skipper pulls it to the side, has a little look. Nothing going yet. He'll look to set this up for the DRS. He's right up the gearbox of the Williams driver. As we jump on board, he gets a clean exit, takes the inside line, and oh, what the? So that was G-Infamous. I am not sure what has happened there. So no moves made on the home straight, with two cars having DRS behind Mr. Long. He's defending well, keeping his place at the moment, even with the DRS. As Grosberry takes a look round the outside, bit of contact, wheel to wheel as they come through, forces Mr. Long off the track. Gets ahead before the S-bend, so we've got Mr. Long appear to be being pushed off the track, almost Max Verstappen like, through sector 2, and this is allowing Skipper to get a good run now on Mr. Long. I think he's going to be sensible. I don't think he's going to dive. He's going to wait for his DRS section down this main straight. Patiently waiting. Skipper's a good driver, a sensible driver. He's not the kind of driver that will be sending in a dive bomb or anything like that. He looks like he's patiently waiting for his spot. We're going to head up to Bogorovsky, who is right on the back of Man Like Donkey here, fighting for P2. I am not sure what has happened. Oh, right, okay. So the timing board is having a massive glitch here. For a moment I thought Benny Bino, D-Max and Felix, I thought they'd all gone somehow, but we are on board. He is just behind Man Like Donkey, so we've got the timing board back up, and that looks right now. So he's half a second behind. Quite a few penalties out there already. Quite a few drivers done 2 stops and the majority on 1 stop at the moment. Coming through the baseball section, Bogorovsky, we're looking to get a good exit here, get the DRS open, looking to make a move for that P5 position. So here we go on board with Bogorovsky. He has gained 2 tenths from the previous lap at this point. Hopefully he'll be a bit closer there out of the final corner to be able to make a move down that finishing start straight. As we come through the baseball section, gets a good turn in there with good traction here. So lovely sector 3 from Bogorovsky as he gets the exit. Bang on, and he should, yeah, will have DRS, opens the flap, and away he goes. Can he make the move? No, too far back again. Bogorovsky is also a guy that will not send a reckless dive bomb in. Absolute gentleman of a driver. He will always give you space and always look for a clean overtake when he can. So they approach sector 2. Gonna have a look at what else is going on track. We've got Mr. Long just behind Grobari. Skipper just behind, patiently waiting again. Sector 2 yellow flags. We have got, well done Josh, looks like he's just DNF'd midway through the S-bends. No sign of a full safety car yet, just the double yellow flags. And racing continues. So here we go in the battle for P7 and P8 with Skipper lurking just behind again. Nearly makes contact there with Mr. Long as they exit the final corner. This should be an overtake now for Skipper. He's been setting this up for a few laps now, but Mr. Long has got DRS as well. Skipper really wants to be getting as much tow as he can behind Mr. Long there, really, as they go through sector 1. Bogorovsky still left second behind. Man like Donkey at the moment doesn't seem to be improving on that, so we'll stay with this battle here for P7. All three drivers showing some great racing here. It's great to see, and it's what we like to see in DTR. We like to see some good racing, wheel to wheel, but fair racing as well. The Skipper takes a look in the S's, which is risky to say the least, which loses him nearly a second on Mr. Long. Skipper does have the pace, you know, he's on the soft tyre versus the hard tyre. He must be getting frustrated now of not being able to get past as he comes out of sector 3. And again, both drivers will have DRS on. Grobari heading down this back straight. As Mr. Long takes a look and gets the move done on Grobari, which brings Skipper right up behind Grobari now. Can Mr. Long pull away on these hard tyres? Currently 17 laps old. The Skipper has a little look at Grobari as well. A little bit of a love tap there, touches the rear. Nothing wrong with that. As they approach the S-bends, where Skipper did lose a bit of time through here on the last lap, and G Infamous is beginning to join this battle as well. Let's take a look at the penalties at the moment. Wow, Benny Buno, 6 seconds penalties. That's going to cost him P2 and any chance of a win at the moment as it stands. Sorry, it's not going to cost him P2. We've got Gunnar 16 seconds behind. Whoa. So he's 3 abreast then going into turn 1. Oh, late on the brakes is Skipper, but manages to keep ahead. G Infamous thinks better of it, let him go, and we go again with this group of 4. Skipper comes right up behind Grosberry there. Grosberry under a lot of pressure the last 4 to 6 laps, not being able to get away from Mr. Long, Skipper and now G Infamous. Mr. Long is pulling out almost a second gap now. Those hard tyres working well for him, but he does have 6 seconds of penalties. Benny Buno up to P1 with D-Max pitting, and is switched to the medium tyres. So D-Max gone for a soft medium, gone for the faster tyre throughout the whole race, not fancying the hard tyres at all, which I kind of agree with. I'm not a fan of the hard tyre around this track. So Benny Buno is leading the race. Does have a chunk of penalties, but just got to get his head down and keep going. It looks like he's got P2 cemented at the moment as it stands, and we'll head back down for the battle for P5, which I've missed some moves, I think. So Grosberry, I think he may have pitted. G Infamous there having a look at Skipper as they lap Pepsi Lover. This is now a two-way battle for P5, and Skipper is on 12 lap old softs versus the 6 lap old softs of G Infamous. So he's doing well. These tyres have gone a long way, but I think he needs to pit for the mediums or a new set of softs if he's able to. I think he'll have to box for the mediums. Actually, I think he's gone soft already. 3 second penalty for man like Donkey, who's currently P4. Yeah, quite a few penalties. This is one of those tracks, to be quick you've got to cut the corners, as G Infamous glides past Skipper. Yeah, to be quick you've got to cut the corners as much as you can, and any mistake is going to be costly. It is. All the chicanes you need to cut as much as you can, really. Skipper having a good race up there in P6, 6 seconds of penalties, but it's looking like everyone's going to get penalties, to be honest. Bogorovsky rarely gets them, so King Bulbous is doing well down there with no penalties also. Quite a bit behind, but having a solid race nonetheless. So just having a look around, seeing what battles we've got. I think this is the best battle we've got out on track at the moment. So we'll stay with this one as they come through Sector 3 to begin a new lap. So currently lap 25 of 36 here at Mexico. We have lost 3 drivers. I think they've all been in the S-bends, to be honest. A tricky sector of the track. If you lose control there, you will most likely end up in a wall. We've not had any safety cars, only the single VSC, one VSC I believe. And so far it's been a great race. So Skipper feeling a little bit of pressure from Felix the Pirate there, who, as we know, is one of the quicker drivers on fresh mediums, right up behind Skipper as he takes a look coming out of turn 6, and Skipper may lose some time here through the S's on these old soft tyres. 14 laps, he's doing great on those at the moment, but I think he does need to box pretty soon, and Felix knows he's going to get him up the DRS straight. He doesn't need to do anything too crazy, just stick with him, get the DRS, and he'll have the move in the back. As Skipper opts to pit after a long stint on the soft tyre, and Felix moves up to P5 with a little bit of DRS as well. Going up to the front, we've got Benny Buno with Gunnar just behind, pushing him a little wide there as they make contact. And Gunnar has kept control of the car. He's not been forced into a spin as they went two abreast there through turn 6. Gunnar just needs to regain himself and get back in the groove after that little tussle with Benny Buno. We'll have a quick look at the penalties. We've still got drivers on 3 and 6 seconds out there. Composite currently 12 seconds off Felix the Pirate, and with Mr. Long being 2 seconds behind with 6 seconds of penalties, he's, you know, P6 looks good for him so far. Gunnar, he needs to pit, so well, he will jump on board with the boss, and as we come through the exit of the S-Bends, coming into sector 3 with Man Like Donkey flying down the inside there. Well, that caught me by surprise, and I think it caught Bogrovsky by surprise as well. So that was for P8. Not sure if Bogrovsky saw that coming or opted not to defend. I'm not sure, but yeah, it was a great move from Man Like Donkey as he begins to chase down Mr. Long. Bogrovsky in a good spot against these guys. They've both got 6-second penalties. If you can stick with them, he's got those 2 places in the bag. He knows that. He's going to be getting the DRS from them as well, so as it stands, Bogrovsky's in net P7 at the moment, which he will be more than happy with, I think. So let's have a look at the tyres. I think, yeah, 17 lap old tyres from Composite. This could be the Composite train very shortly as you get DRS on Mr. Long and sends it. Does he leave enough room? Runs very deep there. Interesting at the front with D-Max and Benny Buno. We've got Benny Buno just behind D-Max. This is a battle for P1. The gap was always 2 seconds or above throughout the race, with the strategy looking to favour Benny Buno being on the softs at the latter stages of the race. But the penalties, the extra 3-second penalties of Benny Buno is going to cost him, unless he can get past D-Max and get that 3-second gap that he needs. He has 8 laps to do it. Can he do it? So he's getting past. He's getting past into down the straight into turn 1. And can Benny Buno pull that 3-second gap without getting any more penalties? Let's have a look down the field. What's going on? Mr. Long is... oh, he makes contact with Composite, wheel to wheel, going through the baseball section. Composite is lost the back end. He's gone off. I think the contact they made a few moments earlier just unsettled Composite and the car going through there. As we jump on board with the Ferraris now, we have got Infamous taking a look at Bogrovsky. They're in their little battle for who will be the #1 driver down at Ferrari. I think Bogrovsky, being the main man at DTR, will say, I'm #1. Infamous overtakes Bog and he's saying that he's #1, so it'll be interesting to see how this develops throughout the season. Ferrari have always had a #1 driver and a #2 driver. Mr. Long at the moment, oh, he's got 11 seconds of penalties, and the gap opening up at the front to 1.5 seconds. and Benny Buno needs that 3-second gap. So here we go, we've been on board with Grosbeer. He's got a bird's eye view of the Mercedes battle ahead with Skipper and Composite. A little laggy there with the gears as he exits, doesn't get the cleanest exit he can get, so we're going to hop on board with Skipper, who's looking at Composite, who's also got the DRS down this back straight. Yeah, Bogorovsky under a lot of pressure now in P7. Still no penalties as he's running on the medium tyre for his final stint. Just three drivers without the penalties at the moment: Bogorovsky, Composite and King Bobus. This is a great battle we have here for P7, with Bogorovsky the lead car of this train. Two Mercedes behind him, and the Williams of Grosbeer just behind as well. So as they come down the home straight, it'll be interesting to see if any moves can be made here as we jump on board with Skipper, who's taking a look at his son going down the straight. He's getting the move done. I think Composite will give him a bit of space and let him by, won't cause him too many issues. Skipper needs to really get going with the penalties that he has, and next up for Skipper is Bogorovsky. The guys behind, as Grosbeer's taking a look, he decides to score down the inside, brakes very late, goes really deep as well, which allows Composite round the outside with the racing line, but he cuts that off and they head into turn 6 with Grosbeer still ahead. Seen a few dives from Grosbeer. He likes to make a move. I think he just out-braked himself on that occasion. There was nothing too crazy there, just out-braked himself, and luckily no damage was caused to either car, and they can continue battling for the next 4 laps. So Skipper, he's got a lot closer to Bogorovsky coming through the baseball section, right up his gearbox as they exit turn 17. He's going to get the DRS, and he should get the move done on this straight, releasing the Mercedes into P7. But he needs to find a 6-point gap within 4 laps. So Skipper's got it all to do here. He's got to put his foot down and hope. He's got to hope Bogorovsky holds his Mercedes teammate up, and Grosbeer, who is right behind him. So Skipper has a lot to do here. Benny Buno, he's made that gap to Dimax. He's 4 seconds ahead, needed a 3-second gap. Dimax has bossed this race from start to the last few laps. Doesn't look like he's enjoying the medium tyre that much. Benny Buno on the softs, absolutely flying here towards the end of the race. He had a great pre-season race in Abu Dhabi, and he's turned up again and showing exactly what he's made of, and even with a 3-second penalty to second place, he's managing to get that done, which just shows he's got fantastic pace. Guna had an absolutely solid race. He is 28 seconds behind D-Max, but the front two look to be in a league of their own around this circuit, and a Man Like Donkey just 13 seconds behind him. So Felix right on the back of Man Like Donkey. This is the fight for P4.
So here we go, coming through the S-bends. We'll jump on here with Felix, who's trying to get a bit closer to Man Like Donkey. Only needs to stay within 3 seconds of Donkey due to the penalties, which he's aware of. Just wants to try and keep within a second, get the DRS, stay in touch with him, and that'll be a good P4 for Felix. I think Skipper's had a good race. He had a tricky start at turn 1, spinning off, and he's recovered really well. Has got 9 seconds of penalties. That is gonna, at the moment, that is costing him 3 to 4 places at least. So he does need to see what he can do over these next 2 laps. Pulled away from Bogorovsky, who's under a lot of pressure from Grobari as we approach turn 1. Grobari late on the brakes again. Luckily no contact made there in the exit turn 3, and Bogorovsky gets a bit of a cleaner exit there as they approach turns 4 and 5. Grobari decides not to send it, which is good news, and they come round into turn 6. So as they approach sector 3, got the S-bends first. Can Grobari make any ground here through the S's on Bogorovsky? And the tyre situation with this battle, both 10 lap old mediums. No advantage to either driver for this position. But again, Grobari's got the penalties. Bogorovsky's got a penalty as well. I didn't notice that. Okay. Grobari very deep there, nearly hits the wall, loses a traction at the back end, which compromises his exit out of turn 17, which gives Bogorovsky a bit of a cushion up that straight. And even with the DRS though, he's still over a second ahead. So I think Grobari just a bit late on the brakes at times. Wait a minute. So I think G-Infamous has overtaken Felix at some point, which we have missed as we come through the S's. Maybe Felix is not enjoying these mediums. They are 12 lap old now versus Infamous's 6 lap old mediums. So it looks like the soft tyre is so powerful towards the end of the race. All the harder compound tyre drivers at this stage seem to be struggling a lot, and early on we saw D-Max, he was pulling away and having a great race on those soft tyres. As soon as he's put the mediums on, he's just not been the same driver, not at the same pace up there. And it's interesting information for us guys who race tomorrow, C4, D4 and D2 tomorrow on DTR. So Felix is taking a look at G-Infamous here. We are on the last lap of the race. Hang on, I'm way off here. So Benny Buno, he's crossed the line, he's won the race. Had an absolutely fantastic race with D-Max just behind him, who hits him. No worries. And Gunnar coming through the baseball section here, through the fireworks, is he should claim the last podium place, which he will. So the podium got Benny Buno on P1, D-Max on P2 on the second step of the podium there, and Gunnar on P3 on the final step of the podium. Great race from all 3 drivers there, with Man Like Donkey just behind. Had a bit of a hectic start on the grid. Not sure what happened there, but he has dropped down a few places with those penalties, giving Felix the Pirate P4, with G-Infamous a 5th place position, Man Like Donkey in 6th with Skipper. Great recovery drive there in 8th, and Bogorovsky moves up to 7th. Bogorovsky, the main man, he will be happy with that. Great race for him, great start to the race, great start to the season. Mr. Long, had a lot to do that race. Was in a few trains there, and he has a great race as well. So absolutely brilliant race. No safety cars to put up with this week, and seen plenty of overtakes there. So man like Donkey, driver of the day, and I think several drivers could have got it, to be honest, because there's been a lot of battles out there today and a lot of good overtakes. So there we have it, Benny Buno on the top step there, celebrating the first win of the season, which obviously puts him at the top of the standings, where he is now the man to beat, with D-Max just behind him there. They look like they've got similar pace. Maybe the strategy was just the only thing what separated them. Benny Buno getting that nailed on the day. Plenty of penalties all the way through. There's only King Bobus who didn't get any penalties, so congratulations to him on that. So there we have it, the Mexico Grand Prix in the opening race of Season 2 for Division 5. So yep, so that's it from us today. Join us tomorrow for Division 4 and Division 2, I think it is. But yeah, you can always jump on the website, see what's going on. We've always got the FIFA games going on, and what's it called? Assetto Corsa on the Sundays as well. So yeah, thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the race, and I will see you again tomorrow, as I'll be racing in Division 4, and I will see you on the comms next week. So have a good evening, and we will see you later.